Yeah.
Everything is done for me.
Yeah.
That's why the way I want. Looking like you, just trying to.
Yeah.
Everything is done for me.
Yeah.
That's why the way I want.
Police say carjackers shot and killed 29-year-old Brad Coleman yesterday in a QT parking lot. He was just trying to put air in his tires when the thieves targeted him.
The family of Mr. Coleman, the family of Mr. Coleman, the family of Mr. Coleman, look at me, the family of Mr. Coleman. Honor Bradley Coleman here. Honor Bradley Coleman. He is never coming back. Nothing that happens in this courtroom is going to bring Bradley Coleman back.
This is the story of Bradley Coleman, a beloved father, mentor, and coach whose life was cut short in a senseless act of violence. At just 29 years old, Bradley had built a legacy shaping young athletes, inspiring students, and creating opportunities through his fashion brand. But on a quiet Sunday afternoon, while simply inflating his tires at a Georgia QT gas station, his path crossed with three men determined to take what wasn't theirs. A struggle ensued. A gunshot rang out. And in an instant, a man who had given so much to his community was gone. Who were these men? Was this a random attack, or was something more sinister at play? As the trial unfolded, disturbing details emerged. Gang connections, a failed carjacking, and a courtroom filled with grief and anger. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Peachtree Corners, Georgia, a suburban city in Gwinnett County, just northeast of Atlanta. Known for its lush greenery, upscale neighborhoods, and peaceful community, Peachtree Corners is a thriving area that balances modern development with southern charm. However, like any growing city, it faces challenges, including crime, though violent incidents like the one that took the life of Bradley Coleman are rare and sent shockwaves through the community. Bradley Lamar Coleman was born on July 20, 1992, in Georgia. He was the eldest son and a role model to his younger brother Jeffrey Michael Coleman. From an early age, Bradley stood out not only for his athletic abilities, but also for his warmth and leadership. His family often described him as a gentle giant with a heart of gold. Bradley's athletic journey began in Norcross, Georgia, where he attended Norcross High School. He was a gifted football player, earning recognition as a scholar athlete. His talents extended beyond football, as he was also a key player in the school's basketball team, helping them win a state championship. His leadership qualities shined through when he was named Mr. Norcross 2011, an honor given to a student who embodies excellence in academics, athletics, and character. Bradley wasn't just admired by his teammates and coaches, his teachers and classmates saw him as an inspiration. He was known for his infectious energy, ability to motivate others, and unwavering support for his peers. After high school, Bradley earned a full-ride scholarship to Southern University and A&M College in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He took this opportunity seriously, balancing his responsibilities as a student athlete while excelling in his studies. He graduated with 2 degrees, a testament to his dedication both on and off the field. During his time in Louisiana, he built lifelong friendships and strengthened his passion for mentoring young athletes. Following his graduation, Bradley transitioned from being an athlete to a mentor. His love for football never faded, but instead of pursuing a professional playing career, he chose to give back by coaching and teaching.
Hey, go home. I'm sorry.
Yeah, keep this too hard.
Gotta get your posture right. 2:30, we gotta be out there on the field. I just take pride and love coaching these young boys up and getting them right. At the end of the day, this is me right here. This is what I do after I leave the post office, man. After I ship y'all packages out, this Coach Coleman. So now it's Coach Coleman to you. We live out here. Get your posture right. Follow me.
Hey, he's doing a good job, man. You know, he's a really, really good role model. He does a great job for receivers. And the things that he's doing, I mean, he's working 2 or 3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? He's working with his dad, he's working with his own clothing line, and then he come and give everything he got to the players. And all I can do is just praise him because he's doing a good job.
Boom.
Hey, you can first read, Kobe. You the first read. Yeah!
He started his coaching journey at Mountain View High School in Georgia, where he worked as both a football and basketball coach. His impact on student athletes was immediate. He was a mentor, a big brother, and a role model. He later took a coaching position at Peachtree Ridge High School, where he served as the varsity wide receiver coach. His ability to connect with young athletes was unmatched. Bradley taught life lessons. He pushed his players to be disciplined, respectful, and to dream big. He often reminded them that success was not just about talent, but about effort, resilience, and character. His coaching career eventually led him to St. Augustine High School in New Orleans, Louisiana, where he became a varsity tight end coach. Moving to New Orleans was a big step, but Bradley embraced the opportunity to impact even more lives. He became deeply involved in the local community and took pride in mentoring young men both on and off the field. Beyond coaching, Bradley was also a visionary entrepreneur.
Hey, you see it? That money don't sleep, baby. That money gonna spend, man. We working out here. NBA All-Star Weekend. Let's get it. Get your posture right.
He founded Peachtree Incorporated, his own clothing brand, with the goal of inspiring young people through fashion. He believed that clothing was more than just fabric. It was a statement, a representation of identity and confidence. Through Peachtree, he created stylish and meaningful designs that resonated with athletes, students, and fashion enthusiasts alike. Bradley helped young athletes secure NIL, name, image, and likeness deals, ensuring that they could benefit financially from their hard work in sports. His brand was about empowerment, about giving young people the opportunity to express themselves and take control of their futures. Of all the roles Bradley played in life, being a father was the one he cherished the most. He had a young daughter who was the light of his life.
What's up? What your hat say for?
Passion.
No, huh?
Passion.
Say it again.
Passion. Now say it loud.
Say it loud.
Passion.
Every decision he made was driven by his desire to provide a better future for her. His friends and family recall how much he adored her, always talking about her with pride and joy. Bradley made it a priority to spend as much time with her as possible, even with his busy schedule. He was committed to being an active and present father, ensuring that she knew she was loved and supported. It was this devotion to family that brought him back to Georgia in the summer of 2022 to let his daughter spend time with her grandparents. On July 10, 2022, a quiet Sunday afternoon turned into a tragedy at a QuickTrip gas station in Peachtree Corners, Georgia. Bradley, a 29-year-old father, coach, and mentor, had pulled into the station to inflate his tires when he was ambushed by three men in a black sedan. What began as an attempted carjacking escalated into a fatal confrontation, leaving Bradley dead at the scene. Surveillance footage later revealed the horrifying sequence of events. As Bradley was filling his tires, one of the suspects, identified as Josiah Hewley, entered the driver's seat of Bradley's vehicle, attempting to steal it. Bradley, refusing to surrender his car, fought back. A second suspect, David Booker, joined the struggle, and in the chaos, a gunshot rang out. Bradley was struck and collapsed near his vehicle. The third suspect, Miles Collins, remained in the getaway car, ready to drive the others away. Before they could flee with Bradley's car, another driver pulled up to the air pump, blocking their escape route. In their haste, the suspects abandoned the stolen vehicle and sped off in their own car. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but it was too late. Bradley was pronounced dead at the scene, his body lying just feet away from the air pump where he had been going about his day. Witnesses, including employees of nearby businesses, recalled hearing the gunshot and watching in horror as the events unfolded. One man, Jarrett Bailey, who worked next door to the QuickTrip, described the fear and disbelief that gripped him as he saw Bradley's lifeless body on the ground.
We all heard a gunshot, and immediately we kind of looked at each other, kind of like, is that what we thought we heard?
Jarrett Bailey stood in shock about 20 feet away from the gunfire.
The first thing that went through my mind was everybody in the store being safe.
Then he was horrified looking out the store window.
There's a guy lying on the ground. Our first thought was, is help going to get here in time? Right, and it turned out that it didn't.
Gwinnett County Police say this all happened when a young male victim used an air pump around 12:30 in the afternoon.
And as he is doing that, 3 occupants of a black 4-door sedan back into the parking space next to him.
Investigators say 2 armed suspects then got into a physical fight with the victim, but they weren't able to steal his car because of a 3rd car parked behind it.
We believe that the victim was shot either during the physical altercation or shortly thereafter, but the suspects were not able to take off with the victim's vehicle because that 3rd car was in the way, and those 2 vehicles collided.
Police say the 3 suspects then took off in their own vehicle. 11 Alive News cameras capture the victim's car being towed away.
The suburb is not safe either.
A car he lost his young life over on a quiet Sunday afternoon.
Being a woman and not feeling safe, because, you know, anyone can attack you, especially if they just want your vehicle.
Right, all of our customers that came in afterward are just like shocked. Just very tragic, very sad, somber mood for everybody in this area, I imagine.
News of Bradley's murder spread quickly, shocking the community and devastating his loved ones.
We are learning new details about the man shot and killed while putting air into his tires at a Quick Trip in Peachtree Corners. Police have now identified the victim as 29-year-old Bradley Coleman, a father, a former football player, a coach, and someone who loved to give back. Right now, police are still working to catch the 3 men linked to his death.
Joe Ripley now is in Gwinnett County showing the impact that Coach Coleman had on and off the field.
It's not something that someone like him deserved. He was just minding his business, trying to put air in his tire.
24 hours later, Shaheed Mitchell returned to the scene where he lost his friend, mentor, and former teammate.
He was funny, energetic, and just motivational. Like, anything you wanted to do, he would always believe in you and push you to get there. He wouldn't just let you say you want to be this, he would make you be that person.
It was supposed to be a safe space. Police say 29-year-old Bradley Coleman was pumping air into his tire Sunday around 12:30 at this Quick Trip in Peachtree Corners. Investigators say someone tried to steal Coleman's car. After fighting to fend off several suspects, police say another driver pulled up to use the air pumps. At one point, Coleman was shot, and police say the 3 attempted carjackers took off.
You just feel like, man, what if I was there to help him? I was there to make a difference. And when you're here, you just, all those emotions come to you.
Coleman shined here on the football field at Norcross High School, playing wide receiver. He would then go on to play football at Southern University in Louisiana.
A ray of light. It's just hard to even process this.
Ryan Lesniak worked with Coleman at Peachtree Ridge High School. Coleman coached basketball and football, and Lesniak says he commanded respect from students.
Just his positivity, his energy for life and for kids, and wanting to give back and wanting to be a part of who they were, not just on the court or on the field, but just also as young men.
Coleman eventually moved back to Louisiana and founded Posture, a fashion brand that aimed to give back to young people, and he leaves behind a young daughter. Mitchell says she was Coleman's world.
It's just tough because she's here to spend time with her dad, and she gets taken away from her dad like that. It's tough.
Bradley wasn't just a victim, he was a mentor to countless young athletes and a father to a 5-year-old daughter. His impact stretched beyond his hometown of Atlanta to Louisiana. The investigation into his murder moved swiftly. Surveillance footage from the gas station and nearby cameras helped police identify the suspects, and within weeks, all 3 men were arrested and charged. Hewley, Booker, and Collins faced multiple charges, including felony murder, aggravated assault, car hijacking, and violations of Georgia's Street Gang Terrorism Prevention Act. The case first went to trial in 2023, but it ended in a mistrial due to a technical issue. The retrial, which began in early 2024, was closely followed by Bradley's family and community. Prosecutors argued that the 3 men had acted with intent and had been prepared to kill. They presented evidence of gang affiliations, arguing that the crime was part of a broader pattern of violent behavior.
Bradley Coleman, 29 years old, just shy of 30. He was a teacher, he was a coach, he was a beloved friend. He's the father of a beautiful 4-year-old girl. And he's the son, Mr. and Mrs. Coleman, We're sitting right here. July 10th, 2022, the last face that he saw was his. Last thing that he felt was a bullet. Went through bone, brain, came out of his neck. The last breath that he took, choking on his own blood. Why? Because they wanted a car. July 10, 2022, just a little bit past noon, at the QT gas station at Peachtree 4. Mr. Coleman took his Dodge Charger, pulled up to put air in his tire. The defendants, who were gang members, backed in right beside him. While Mr. Coleman was down, his rear tire putting it in, this man, Josiah Hewley, got out of the car and went into Mr. Coleman's car. What he didn't know was that another car had pulled up right behind him in order to put air in his tire. Josiah backed out, he hit that car. That gave Mr. Coleman time to get up, open the passenger side, and grab Mr. Hewley. Mr. Hewley dragged him out of the car, and during the struggle, put a gun to his head, shot and killed Bradley Coleman. While that was going on, this man, David Booker, jumped out of the other car that brought them there, came up with a gun to provide support. When the gunshot went down, they fled in the car driven by this man, Mr. Collins. Here's what it looks like. Mr. Coleman's car. The defendants. How do we know that it was these three? Because what the evidence is going to show you is that Josiah Hewley was the shooter, that David Booker provided armed support, and that Miles Collins drove them to the QT and away from the QT. The evidence is also going to show that these two members are part of the 9 Trey Bloods, a violent gang that is known for stealing cars, as well as sex, money, murder. How are we going to show that? Because you're going to see the gang evidence that ties these defendants to those violent gangs. You will see the gang evidence of David Booker, where he proudly proclaims 9 Trey Bloods, also known as Billy Badass. You're going to see other social media posts proudly proclaiming 9 Trey gangsters. You'll see the significance of the tattoos, including the ones not hidden behind bow ties or shirts zipped up. You're going to see it for David Booker. You're going to see Miles Collins.
Billy gang shit. Yeah, real Billy gang shit. But get what? I never get them street laws. Nigga, mind your business, get money, and shut the fuck up. Nigga, you talking about?
You're going to see the gang evidence of Josiah Hewley, the shooter, all over his body, and the hand signs, proudly proclaiming on social media his membership in a violent and deadly gang. You're going to see other evidence, too, that among the crimes of nitrate bloods and sex money murder, they steal cars. And you're going to see the defendants, each and every one, has stolen cars before. And on July 10th, 2022, they did it again. But this time, somebody had to die. And that was Bradley Coleman.
Defense attorneys, however, tried to minimize their clients' roles in the murder. Hewley's lawyer argued for a voluntary manslaughter conviction rather than murder, while the attorneys for Booker and Collins attempted to distance them from the shooting itself. But the jury saw through these defenses. On Tuesday, after days of deliberation, they delivered a unanimous verdict. Guilty on all counts. Judge Tamela Adkins wasted no time in handing down the sentences. Each of the three men received life in prison without the possibility of parole, along with additional decades for their other crimes. The courtroom was tense as Bradley's family delivered emotional victim impact statements.
I just want to let y'all know, man, Bradley Coleman, he was somebody, and he still is somebody.
And sir, I'm going to ask you to direct it to me in the courtroom.
Yeah, y'all took my brother, my only brother. And it's only the legacy that my brother left that's stopping me from putting hands and feet on all three of y'all. I swear to God, I hate y'all.
Mr. Coleman.
I need you to address what you'd like to see in sentencing and for everyone. Please do not address them.
Look, lock him up and throw away the key. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
His brother, Jeffrey, could barely contain his anger, telling the defendants, "I hate y'all. Lock them up and throw away the key." The courtroom also saw moments of disruption. As Collins was being led away in handcuffs, he turned to the grieving family and mockingly asked, "You happy now?" This sparked an emotional reaction from Bradley's brother, who had to be calmed by others in attendance. Judge Adkins urged the family to honor Bradley's memory by staying strong, reminding them that no courtroom decision could bring him back. In the end, justice was served, but the loss remained unbearable.
3 gang members have been sentenced to life without parole for murdering a teacher and coach who was visiting family from New Orleans. Bradley Coleman was shot and killed during a botched carjacking nearly 3 years ago now in Peachtree Corners. Tonight, Coleman's family is grateful for the guilty verdicts and the punishment.
Russ, the family of Bradley Coleman was jubilant. They say the judge and jury made the right decision.
It's a day that God promised us. He promised us the victory from day one.
Venetia Coleman says the past few years have been tough on her family.
It's been a lot. It's been hard for my husband and I, and along with my son's daughter.
But on Tuesday, relief and rejoicing. A Gwinnett County jury found 3 men guilty of murdering her son, Bradley Coleman.
God allowed the jurors to see what was going on and to come back with a guilty verdict on all 15 felony charges.
The jury convicted David Booker, Josiah Hewley, and Miles Collins of shooting and killing Coleman as he tried to fill his tires with air at a quick trip at Peachtree Parkway and Peachtree Corner Circle in July of 2022.
They were not going to get away with it. They messed with the wrong one.
On count 1, felony murder, I am sentencing you to life without the possibility of parole.
Judge Tamela Adkins sentenced all 3 men to life without parole on murder charges.
Your Honor, a parent should never, ever
have to bury their child. They're supposed to bury us.
Coleman's mother delivered a tearful impact statement asking the judge for the maximum sentence. Earlier in court, hostility. A defendant blurted, "I hope you're happy," angering the victim's brother. The judge tried to calm things down.
The family of Mr. Coleman. Honor Bradley Coleman here.
Again, all three men got life without parole. Their lawyers say they will appeal.
Bradley's mother, Venetia, wept as she spoke of her son's legacy, a man who had dedicated his life to uplifting others. Her final request to the judge was simple yet powerful. Send them away for the rest of their lives. Bradley Coleman's family, friends, and community came together in the wake of his tragic murder to honor his life and support his loved ones. A candlelight vigil was held at Lillian Webb Park, where attendees gathered to remember the beloved community member. Days later, a celebration of life service took place at Peachtree Corners Baptist Church, filling the space with mourners dressed in black and red to pay their respects. The funeral service was marked by heartfelt eulogies, including words from close friends like John, who spoke of Bradley's ability to inspire those around him. His family, overcome with grief, expressed the profound loss they felt, especially for Bradley's young daughter, who now faces life without her father. The GoFundMe campaign was launched by Brooke on behalf of Bradley's mother, Venetia, to help cover funeral expenses and establish a family trust for his daughter. The overwhelming support from the community helped the fundraiser surpass its $120,000 goal, demonstrating just how deeply Bradley was loved. What happened to Bradley Coleman should have never happened. He was simply putting air in his tires, an everyday task that turned into a senseless act of violence. His life was stolen in an instant by individuals seeking status in a gang, showing the devastating consequences of reckless criminal behavior. No one should have to fear for their life while handling routine errands. The impact of Bradley's death extends far beyond the courtroom verdicts. His family and loved ones now face a future without him, his daughter will grow up without her father, his students have lost a mentor, and his friends will forever feel the void left behind. The grief and trauma of losing someone so full of life and promise will never fully fade. However, his legacy of kindness, dedication, and leadership will live on in the many lives he touched. My condolences to his friends and family. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.